Now, restaurants will be forced to tell the government what their customers eat, all as part of plans being drawn up by the government to tackle Britain's obesity crisis. But not just tell the government how much people eat, also there could be fines for restaurants that don't reduce the number of calories that people are consuming. Similar rules have just been brought in for supermarkets, which have to reduce shopping baskets by 100 calories, otherwise they're hit with fines.
I mean, that is crazy, but also the way you said restaurant made me feel like I was in Paris.
Absolument.
Restaurants say the proposals will lead to higher prices in restaurant chains, given the significant volumes of bureaucracy involved.
So is the government tackling obesity or turning the UK into a nanny state? Well, joining us now is the actor and body positivity influencer George Keywood and the head of health at the Institute for Public Policy Research, Sebastian Rees. Sebastian, we're going to kick off with you. This seems like a very micromanaging kind of proposal from the government.
I think it actually seems like quite the opposite. I think what this policy does is it sets a broad framework for businesses and says that government expect some more action on obesity, and then lets businesses innovate to meet what the target that's been set for them. So
hang on, Sebastian. Sorry, I've got to come back. I've got to come back on that point. You're not letting businesses innovate if you say we're going to fine you if you don't cut the calories that people are buying and putting in their shopping basket or putting on their plate at a restaurant. I mean, it's the same policy that the last government applied to vehicle manufacturers. If you don't sell a certain proportion of electric vehicles, you get fined. We're now doing this for food. I mean, where does it stop?
I mean, in this case, we know that we need to get serious about obesity. If William Beveridge was sitting down today and writing a report about the big challenges that a modern Britain faces, tackling obesity would be front and centre. We know, based on research out this morning, that it's costing about £130 billion a year to deal with the effects of obesity. And we know that taking action on it is really important for so many of the things that we're trying to achieve in this country, reducing pressure on the NHS, getting people back to work. There's so much of a case to do more about obesity. And it really does require action on all fronts, and it requires getting retailers and getting food outlets really involved in finding a solution to this problem, which is costing us all in the long run.
Okay, well, let's see what George Keywood, body positivity influencer, has to say about this. I mean, if I wanted to eat a lot, I could go to several restaurants in the same day. No one's stopping me from doing that, are they?
I mean, I think the whole thing's nonsense, to be completely frank with you. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the impact of what the government's going to do to these companies is catastrophic. I mean, you know, these companies are already trying to pay their bills, pay their VAT bills. Do you think they've really got time to say, oh, actually, no, we can't give them that much food. We don't want to sell that much food. You're controlling way too much. You know, we're trying to tackle obesity, yes, but that is not the way to go about tackling obesity. It's an extreme move from a very, ridiculous government, to be completely honest with you. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. I mean, how much money are you wasting on coming up with these stupid ideas? You know, how much money are you wasting?
So what if you don't finish your plate? What if you don't finish your plate? Are they going to take that into account? What if I eat half my burger, Sebastian? Sebastian, what if I eat half my burger? Are they going to note that down?
I mean, George asked how much money were you wasting on coming up with ideas like this. I asked back, how much money were you wasting on picking up the pieces where we failed to do something about obesity? Like, it's literally in the tens, if not hundreds of billions of pounds every year. This looks like a policy change, which is really about saying, overall, to tackle the huge crisis we have with obesity really just requires quite small reductions in the grand scheme of things on calorie
Sebastian,
consumption.
what do you make about the idea that actually, of course, for 30 years, governments have grappled with what sort of regulations they should place on companies to try and make food more expensive if it's deemed to be unhealthy, or trying to nudge people into different directions. But for the first time now, we've actually got a drug that works, Ozempic, semaglutide, Wegovy, Manjaro, whatever you want to call it, that for the first time is actually making people skinnier. I mean, we don't need to force companies to sort of draw up lists of who's having what calories now. If someone wants to get skinnier, they can just get on the jab.
I mean, if we look at things like the access to weight loss medication, I think we are expecting some announcements in the coming days about expanding access to weight loss medications, but there are risks involved, and it comes at huge expense. I think the move to say
there are also huge expenses in telling businesses how many calories they're allowed to sell.
Let's give George the last word here, George. So, is there let's ask George, are there any redeeming features to this policy for you, George?
I mean, I don't believe so. I mean, I'm on Mounjaro. I've lost 40 kilos and I've paid for it privately.
Congratulations.
So, I mean, I didn't need the government's help for that. And I don't need them picking and choosing what I'm going to bloody eat on my plate either.
Do you feel better for the weight loss? Do you feel better, George?
I do, massively. I feel a lot better in myself. I feel like I can do a lot more, and I strongly encourage the government to get behind that rather than policies like this.
Right. Okay, George Keyword, Sebastian Rees, a good head-to-head there.